Hi, I'm Radia Iglesias. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist and biochemical analyst, and this is my story. Like many practitioners, my vocation as a board-certified clinical nutritionist and wellness counselor started with my own health challenges. I used to be a commercial illustrator, an airbrush artist to be exact. Never occurred to me that blowing rainbows out of my nose because of the paint fumes was a bad thing. I was working on the Epcot project for Disney at the time. I was the youngest designer and the only female on the team. Besides the toxicity, the stress was overwhelming. I had all kinds of health problems: heart palpitations, weight problems, headaches, allergies. Hypoglycemia so severe I couldn't function by the middle of the afternoon. I was young and I thought to myself, if I feel this way now, I don't even want to know what I'm going to feel like in my 40s, 50s, and 60s. Besides the toxicity and the stress, I was mainlining on coffee and junk food, and my heart palpitations were an enormous concern. I'd had them all my life. In high school, I would ask my friends to hit me in the chest to knock my heart rhythm back into place. They never hesitated to lend medical assistance. Punch me in the chest? What are pals for? They would place one hand on my chest, yell clear, and pound me with the other. It worked. My family physician, who was the chief cardiologist for Santa Monica Hospital, put me on phenobarbital, a highly addictive barbiturate. Great. Slowed my heart rate down. I barely had a heartbeat. Then I discovered a chiropractor nutritionist in Malibu who came highly recommended, and she saved my life. When she asked me if I wore a mask when I used the airbrush, I replied, "A mask? No. How could I smoke?" She asked me if I drank coffee. Yes, I said, about 6 cups a day. As soon as I cut back on the caffeine, my heart palpitations stopped. Who knew? Apparently, I wasn't phenobarbital deficient. She put me through a detoxification program, then taught me how and what to eat, and turned me on to the dietary supplements I needed. I feel better now, going on 70, than I ever did in my 20s. This nutritionist inspired me. Her solutions were so simple. I'm an educated woman, I thought. How come I didn't know this? We're so programmed to lay our common sense at the feet of the gods of medicine. Years went by and my entire life was different. I had an impeccable diet. I was meditating and exercising every day, and I felt terrific. People need to know this, I thought. They need to know how to care and feed their bodies in order to stay healthy and avoid drugs and disease. At that point, my art career was taking off, and I had come to a crossroads. Should I drop my career as an illustrator and study nutrition? I was offered a position as an art director for a textile company. It was a great gig. I had a choice: starting salary of $60,000 a year, which was a lot in those days, plus bennies and a company car and annual trips to Europe, or test urine in a lab for $50 a week. What was I thinking? I needed to talk to Mom. Talking to her about this scared me to death. Mom was a successful designer. She always thought I had more talent than she. She basically put me through art school and supported me in every artistic endeavor. What would she think if I told her I wanted to do this airy-fairy nutrition thing over following in her footsteps with a budding art career? I went to her house that afternoon, and there she was, sitting at the table playing solitaire with the cat. "So, what did you decide about your job offer?" she asked calmly as she flipped the cards over one by one on the table. "I think I want to study nutrition." Gulp, I persisted. "Besides, my portfolio was stolen." She never looked up. She just calmly, rhythmically kept flipping the cards. "I had my portfolio stolen once," she uttered quietly. "All my awards and original artwork gone." She stopped, laid the last card on the straight, and looked up at me and said, "You're not your portfolio. That's what you do, not who you are. You need to do what makes you happy." That was the last conversation I had with my mother. She died suddenly the next day. It was at that moment that I began to understand the difference between a job and a vocation. The inheritance I received from my mother paid for me to go back to school and study clinical nutrition and receive my graduate degree and certifications. I started my practice in 1988 in Los Angeles and moved to Austin in 1992. Caring for others, solving people's challenges, serving the community, that's what makes life worth living. And that's what makes a job a vocation, the workplace a home, and my clients a family. Just being there for anyone who needs me helps to heal the community I share, and at the same time feeds my soul. I help people who are tired of wasting time and money on their health issues with nothing to show for it. Together we figure out what your symptoms may indicate, which ones are priority, and what to do about them. You can learn more about me on this website, radiagleese.com, or email me at radialgleese@gmail.com.